Now, Meru County. The governor of Meru County is called who? Kawira Mwangaza.
Yeah, wanachoma.
Yes. The last time Kawira Mwangaza was very much in the news was during that impeachment period. The County Assembly of Meru had said, Madam Governor, please go home. Came to the Senate. Senate listened. They told Kawira, listen, Madam Governor, you need to listen to your people, okay? We are not going to confirm this impeachment, but we want, please, just listen to your people, okay? The person who initiated this entire process is a citizen and a voter of Meru County. He's fondly referred to as the Omtata of Meru. His name is Salesio Mutuma. He was here then, he is here now.
Once again, he's here.
How are you?
Fine, thank you, Eric.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
To Kenya's biggest conversation.
I'm humbled.
Very good. You look healthy.
I thank God.
Very good. And you look happy.
Thank you.
That's good enough. City. Patia yeye, the day is proverb.
Ile proverb ya leo. Our proverbs for the whole of this week ending Friday are from the country of Burkina Faso.
Okay.
The content of a peanut is enough for two friends to share.
The content?
Not to fill them up. To share.
Just share. But if it's enough, it means something.
Yeah. You see, that's the point. That's the point.
The content of a peanut is enough for two people to share.
You know, this word, the content. But my mind goes to contentment, a concept that is often lost. Contentment doesn't mean it's overflowing, it is more than you know what to do with. No, it means the discipline of understanding that this is adequate. Yes.
This is it.
This is adequate.
Yeah.
Yes. Two friends have shared a peanut. Hiyo tosha.
That's enough.
Hiyo ingine ni halua.
Can I share my nut with you, friend?
Yes.
Good one.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay. Thuranera.
Yes, sir.
You're back in the news. First of all, before we go to the current reason why you're back in the news, just the other day, you were in the news again because of a healthcare issue. Something that was happening in Meru.
Yeah.
That investigation has been ongoing. It's taken place. How are you and that? How is that going?
It's still ongoing. I thank God because the office of the DCI, it's doing a thorough job. We usually have contact each and every week. We update each other on what's going on. And most likely in 4 weeks to come, people will be aligned in court, God willing. Yeah.
There was a time your life was threatened, was it not?
It's still under threat.
Still under threat?
Yeah.
So it's not a thing of the past, eh?
It's not a thing of the past.
Yes.
There are a lot of trails.
Yes.
Some phone calls here and there. But I also thank the DCI's office. They're on top of the notch. Yeah.
Okay.
They're doing something. Yeah.
Now, something else is happening in Meru County. And you've raised this as an issue.
Yeah.
What's this?
This is about payments in the office of the governor. But it's not the only issue. That's a tips of the iceberg. There is more to it. But I began with the office of the governor because she's the CEO of the county. And she needs to be accountable to the people of Meru. We gave our votes overwhelmingly. And we entrusted her with the property of Meru County. And in that office, I discovered the issue began last year, actually, with one minority leader, Honorable Mwangaza. He sought a statement on the impressed status in the office of the governor in November. I remember that time, it's the time that we had the impeachment issue. And 5 months later, he was not given any response. In April 18th, he withdrew the statement, which to me raised some question marks because did the people of Meru get the value of the work of the MCAs in the county assembly? No, they never did that.
So you raised that statement in the county assembly.
Yes.
Ordinarily, when you raise a statement, then the relevant committee should pick it up and seek answers.
Sure.
So what report did the committee bring?
Zero report. He withdrew the statement even before.
He withdrew the question even before this had been transmitted further.
Yeah. That's what he did.
And that's allowed.
Even though it's allowed within their studying orders again, what's the value of him seeking the statement and withdrawing? And when he withdrew the statement, he never gave the reasons why he had to withdraw.
And why would that seem odd to you?
Because to me, after the issue of the impeachment motion flopped on the side of the MCAs, they went into bed with the executive. I have concrete evidence of how they went to bed, because most of the tenders in Meru County are being given to the MCAs by proxy. I have names of the companies related to their relatives or to their girlfriends or to the immediate family members that are being given tenders by Governor Kawira Mwangaza. So they don't have any moral authority now to oversight what she is doing.
Let's characterize this a little bit.
Yeah.
The first impeachment motion so far, the members of the county assembly overwhelmingly went for impeachment. They went for the jugular, essentially.
Sure.
And they said because of 1, 2, 3...
68 out of 69.
Exactly, 68 out of 69.
Yeah.
It was very clear what they wanted, because they felt that she was not representing the people of Meru in the manner in which she said she was going to, by the vote and then also by mandate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There was no question as per what they felt. So what you're saying now, which is actually quite heavy, is that after the first impeachment motion was denied by Senate, that easily 68 again out of 69 have basically jumped ship, as it were, and have pledged their allegiance solely to the governor. Is that what you're saying?
Not completely all of them, because what she has done, it's a divide and rule method she is using. So she has held hostage the elected members. They are 45. So they are the majority. And the nominated members, they have been kept aside. They are 23.
They're held hostage. How? What do you mean by this?
When I talk of being held hostage, is through these tender awards that they are being given through the proxy companies. So an elected MCA wouldn't wish to speak anything against the governor. If that happens, then the tender, there will be a problem in the tender that has been issued. Number two, there is a program she is having, and I'm saying that she's running two governments. The one we elected her to run, the Meru County government, and the Okolea government, our own initiative, whereby she's going around in the wards, issuing a mabati, one piece of iron sheet.
For what?
Kuokolea.
Fanya vile utaona.
Yeah,
okay.
She's issuing a mattress. She's issuing gumboots, a pair of gumboots that are of one leg, if it's left leg. It's there. It's a reality. It's a reality.
Okay.
So she comes with the left
gumboot. It's on the
gumboot.
ground. It's there. It's on the ground.
Can I just want to take you so that we can see the progression of this thing.
Yeah.
So take Thuranira. We're going to use your name as an example.
Yes.
An MCA for Ward X in Meru County.
Yeah.
Prior to the impeachment, had no confidence in the governor because of 1, 2, 3. It's clear.
Yeah.
Very vocal about it and with the rest of the team. Okay?
Yeah.
Impeachment comes along, we go through the processes, there's the vote at the county assembly, and then it goes to Senate. Senate sits for hearing, they do all the due diligence, etc., etc. They decline to convict.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, Thuranira...
Through intervention of the president. Remember, the president said that he's the one who intervened to save Kawira from the impeachment.
So you're saying that if he didn't do that, it's possible that she would have been convicted? Okay.
Definitely.
Oh, you're definite.
Definitely.
That had President Ruto not come in and said, guys,
she was to go
allow
home.
this woman to do her work.
Yes.
She would have gone home. The Senate would have convicted her.
Definitely.
Okay, let's put
from their report.
Okay. So let's put that on the back burner for a minute. We have come back to Thuranira MCA. Okay? This has happened.
Yeah.
Declined to convict, president intervened, etc., etc. Same Thuranira who was very vocal along with his other buddies,
Yeah.
now, according to you, gets a contract, or his girlfriend gets a contract, or somebody gets a contract, and suddenly singing the praises of the governor.
Sure.
We can see this through the county, and you're sure of it?
That's the scenario.
Is it a scenario or is it a reality? Because I can paint
Scenario
a
and a
scenario in
reality.
my mind.
It's a scenario and a reality at the same time. Yeah.
You know, let's try and see. Maybe there's benefit where it's due. And after that entire kerfuffle around the impeachment, which also centered on the relationship between the executive and the county assembly, it was taken to the Senate.
Yeah.
When the senators were speaking to Governor Kawira, they were telling her, you need to work with the county assembly because they are also elected representatives.
Sure.
You need to listen to them. Since then, several meetings were held, chaired by the deputy president, right? To
Yeah.
try and bring them together. The local members of parliament from Meru, the senator of Meru, who's the deputy speaker of the Senate, the county assembly members, the governor and her team. They held several meetings, mediated by none other than the deputy president.
Yeah.
Maybe what we're seeing is a result of that mediation. There's
Actually-
now cordial working relations.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that they are being bribed or they are being bought, but now she is actually listening. What are the areas that you'd like my executive to work on? And the members of the county assembly are saying, in my ward, there's a project A, B, C. And she says, okay, let's allocate finances for that. Now it so happens that because you come from this village, that somebody who's going to win that tender is a relative of yours. I mean, so why are you imputing improper motive on an MCA if a village mate or a relative has won a tender?
Surely.
Okay. Let me take you back to the mediation process.
Yes.
Up to date, we have zero report of the outcome of that mediation. Have you ever seen that report?
It was a political process. It wasn't.
No,
it was-
they were supposed to give us a report.
Okay.
The people of Meru. And actually, the deputy president was supposed to report to the president. I think that never happened. So what happened to that process? It was hijacked by governor again in our own clever way. And they resolved the issue in the county assembly, whereby that resolution was overseen by the women representative. MPs were never, they were not even informed of the meeting. So you see, she's very clever in handling the whole issue and also the MCAs to put them in our own box to be able to manipulate things. And these MCAs do not have that now moral authority of doing the work that we elected them to do. Majorly, the oversight role.
She's become politically woke. She realized that she's got to balance between running the county as an executive and also managing the politics of the county.
Which is not healthy to the people of Meru, because now
Okay.
the MCAs and the governor are reading from the same script would give away to the looting that I'm alleging to.
Right, I need to ask this question.
Yes, sir.
What would you say would be the evidence of a county government, specifically that of Meru, working well and looking after the interests of the people? What would you need to see?
You see, the mandate of each and every elected reader is well stipulated in our constitution.
Yes, it is. And
Okay.
they even take an oath of office to ensure that they do precisely that.
Definitely.
Yes.
So we need to see the governor utilizing our resources properly in our development agenda.
Okay.
That's number one.
I'm getting granular. I want to get granular on that one.
Yeah.
For instance, let's take health, for instance. Okay? It's a good example usually.
Yeah.
What is it that you would like to see in health that you're not seeing, in terms of what would the governor or the executive, what should they do? What should they be involved in order to visibly demonstrate that they're actually doing something which is in the interest of the people of Meru County?
Okay. Let us cut across all the department instead of only health.
All right.
There is a law very clear the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act of 2015. It's also very clear in the manner in which contracts and tenders must be awarded. Number two, to strengthen that, there is a law that came in 2016 and created a Public Procurement Regulatory Authority.
Yes.
And in it, each and every public entity must publish all the tenders awarded.
Yes.
And the public is able, if you log in into that website, you're able to see this tender of this road A was issued to this company. It is worthy this amount of money. And you're able also to know the details of the owners of that company. You're able even to see the duration of time given. When Kawira came into power in 2022, the financial year of 2022-2023, she has failed to fulfill that mandate. There is zero publishment of the contracts that she has awarded.
Okay.
You can log in, director, you'll see it.
Okay.
So why has our government failed to publish all the tenders awarded and the contracts awarded in the county of Meru?
A requirement.
There's a requirement. It's mandatory. And if a government or a government entity fails to do that, there is a penalty to it. Then my question comes again, what are they doing with the regulatory authority, which is not also requesting for these reports? Why is the regulatory authority so silent on that issue? Yesterday,
so what
yesterday
do you think?
I wrote a letter.
What are you saying? Are you saying that there
is a cover-up? There's a cover-up of how the contracts are being awarded.
She's working with many people.
Even if you're working with many people, other governments are doing the same.
If your allegation
they are reporting. Why is it only Meru County which is not reporting? Nairobi is reporting. Vihiga is reporting. Kisumu is reporting.
So what does the regulatory authority tell you?
I wrote a letter yesterday.
Okay.
I'm waiting for their answers. And in my own research, I've come to discover some companies. I will not disclose the names here because I wrote to the EACC to investigate. A company has a lifetime of Simon Makonde. It's opened on Monday, given a name on Tuesday, registered on Wednesday, pre-qualified on Thursday, awarded tender on Friday and paid on Saturday. That's very regular.
And Sunday it rests.
Yeah, and Sunday it rests. That's very regular. I have names, I have receipts.
And you can see the trail.
You can see the thread and the trail.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have written this to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Yeah.
A letter dated the 11th of August, where you're asking them to do several things.
Sure.
What are these things that you're raising with the EACC?
Number one is the manner in which, in the office of the governor, payments are made. You can see a name of a particular person. This person is a secretary to the chief of staff. She is paid 18 times in a day, amounting to like 3 million
In a single day?
in a single day.
From what account? Impressed?
In their defense, they are saying it's impressed.
Okay.
In their defense.
How is this payment made?
My extract, I made it from, I extracted my evidence from the infamous. I have a person who works in the treasury. And when this person saw these things are not normal, the person alerted me, printed the copy, we sat down and we analyzed it. And it's not normal to do such payments.
18 times a day?
18 times a day.
To the
Different vouchers.
This is the PA too?
That's the secretary.
The secretary to the chief of staff.
Okay.
Okay.
Number two.
In their defense, they say this is impressed.
They are calling it impressed.
Okay, but
and per diems.
Interest and impressed and per diems.
And per diems. Remember again in last year, in November, the commission for what? The CR? We call it what? CR is
Commission on Revenue
Revenue
Allocation.
allocation.
not revenue allocation, hii ingine ya mishahara.
SRC.
SRC.
Yes.
They nullified the issue of paying per diems.
Yes.
Why is the county of government of Meru paying per diems? They said that's double salary.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was cancelled. So if it is per diems in Meru County, they are still again violating the regulations of the authority. Yeah. Number two, you get. I'm not against employing our sisters. It's okay. They have a right for employment. But then again, it's nepotism. Though this is a sister, okay, she works as a bodyguard, and she is paid monies for catering services.
Catering for the
What?
bodyguard?
Catering
Oh,
what?
wait.
It's just written catering services
Against her name.
against her name.
Okay.
But the catering service, should it not be aligned to an event? Should it not be aligned for a
Or
function?
is it everyday catering?
And it
breakfast,
must
lunch,
go
and dinner?
through the procurement process.
Yes.
Yeah. It must be won competitively.
So basically what you're saying is a security officer
Yeah.
is also offering catering services to a
The
high
office of the
employer.
governor. Yeah.
Oh, to the office of the governor.
To the office of the governor.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are worrying questions to
But-
the people of Meru.
As a company or as an individual?
As an individual, money which should be paid to a company.
Okay, hold on. So the kind of money that we are seeing being paid to this individual is actually like, for an event. That's the kind of money we're talking about. It's not like, bring me a lunch plate of 1,000 shillings. It's
How much
and
are we
how
talking
much are we
about?
talking about here?
In my calculations, she has been paid almost a total of 9 million within 9 months.
That's a lot of food, huh?
Some heavy breakfast. I'm not sure that. So we're saying that
Have
essentially
you ever
it is
visited the governor's office, you?
salmon and shrimps.
In 9 months, 9 million, that's a million shillings
It's a
month.
million
Yeah,
shillings
the,
a month.
the secretary herself has been paid 29 million within 9 months.
Secretary.
The secretary to the chief of staff.
The 29 million, the impressed
That's what they are calling the imprest.
in 9 months.
Yeah. Then again, the question comes in: is the allocation in the office of the governor treated entirely as imprest?
Because surely there must be other kinds of payment, no?
Yeah. There is advertisement being paid for. There are campaigns being paid for. Are they also being treated as imprest?
Where?
These are questions that they should be able to explain to the people of Meru.
Let me just look at some of the details that you list in this letter, in your letter to the EACC. You are alleging that there are some staff in the Meru County government who are receiving direct payments from the county government, and in some cases the description or justification for the payment is not even given.
Yeah.
Like I look at the date of 20th of September 2022, this one staff received 100,000 shillings, payment description, none given. On the same day, 212,000 shillings, description, none given. Same day, 100,000 shillings, description, catering services.
Nice.
On the same day, 94,500 shillings, none given. Same day, 20th of September, 319,200, none given. This is a lot of money. It's more than a million. How much was it? In just a single day?
It's more than 3 million.
Just more than 3 million in a single day. And for all those, only one of those payments has a description, catering services. The others, none given. When you say none given, what do you mean?
In the infimate itself, it's written prepayment.
Prepayment.
Prepayment for what?
Or it doesn't say.
So it doesn't
of what.
Nothing
describe
else,
further.
just prepayment.
Okay.
It
Nothing
doesn't say
else.
anything else.
Doesn't expound.
There are other payments to this same person in other months. For example, so this is 13th, catering services, traveling cost, accommodation, boards and committee, and it's figures above 50,000 shillings, mostly going to above 100,000 shillings. Again, you're saying in their defense, they say impressed.
Yeah.
When you say in their defense, it means that you've asked them.
Actually, they responded after I spoke about the issue.
Yeah.
I think they called for a press briefing last week maybe it was on Friday
Yeah.
or Thursday, I'm not so correct. So they called for a press briefing, and in their defense, they say that is impressed and it is allowed by law. Again, I have no problem of them paying impressed, but my question is, why pay impressed 13 times to a single person in a single day? The following day again, you paid 5 times to the same
person.
It raises eyebrows.
Is this the same person who's getting paid on that day? Or are there other people who are receiving interest payments on the same day?
There are very many people receiving interest on the same day. On the same day. For example, there is one that I've not analyzed there. He is a municipal manager of Meru municipality. He has received a total of 3.7 million in 3 months. In one time, in a single day, he received 500,000 twice. Indicated prepayment.
Okay.
Prepayment for what?
Why?
And if it's a municipal manager, there is the Urban and Cities Act that establishes how municipalities must be run. They are run through a board. Okay? And the board is autonomous.
Sure.
Isn't it? So why pay through the office of the governor?
Okay. These things in the IFMIS system are permanently in the system.
You cannot delete.
You cannot delete them.
You cannot alter them.
You cannot alter them.
Yeah.
Exactly. So once it has been put there, and you must do that for payments, you put them into the system, everybody can see it tabulates, it does its own thing.
Sure.
Why would you do that, knowing full well that at some point somebody ought to ask questions about this? Why would your financial narrative or payment narrative be something other than what it ought to be, knowing full well that somebody's going to ask questions? Why would you do that? Why would you set yourself up? Why would you do that over and over and over and over again from what you're saying now, knowing full well that somebody will see the record at some
there
point?
Will be
there will be an audit. There will be questions asked. Why would you set yourself up like that? Almost intentionally, almost deliberately, knowing that a question will be asked in the future. Why?
Incompetency. That's my answer. And to add to that, it's even worse. There is the question of paying for the same tenders to the people who are not working in the office of the governor, other contractors. They have opened a pay bill number. I have the account. I have all the details. Whereby if you want to be paid for the tender that was awarded to your company, you must first of all pay 15%
to the pay bill.
To the pay bill number.
Eh?
Then why would a governor open an account and a pay bill number to be paid 10% by the contractors and should be caught up with?
Whose pay bill? Is it a county government pay bill?
No, I will not reveal the details themselves currently.
Is it a personal pay bill?
It's a personal
company pay bill or county pay bill?
It's a personal pay bill.
Somebody's name.
Yes, it's a personal pay bill whereby you can trace the owner of the account.
When you make payment, the name pops up.
Yeah.
So is this information that's been given to you by a complaining company that says, I won a tender and I had to do this before I got paid? I mean, or where do you draw the nexus?
I've been given a lot of information by the same contractors. Even some have played me a conversation. They have recorded a conversation between them and the governor, between them and the chief of staff, whereby they are being required to pay the 15%
of the contract.
I have a message they have been sent whereby they should pay the 10%. That's why I drew the pay bill number, the account number. I think that's incompetence. Why do that? As a public officer.
You're very kind when you just refer to it as incompetence. It's called extortion.
Sure. I think where I'm asking the question from, and for sure, definitely, if that is the case, then yes, incompetence comes into play. But the question, and maybe further to that, is that there seems to be all of this based on these alleged things that you're speaking of, right? Because at this point, they're still alleged.
Yeah,
isn't it?
They are still alleged.
All right?
Yeah.
The reason why an individual would do something and not even hide it, it's in plain sight, it's public record. It is clear that it's being done, just haphazardly at best. But then it seems as though there's the underlying reasoning that what nobody is going to ask, or even if they do, nothing will be done. That's the only explanation. Because if something is entered into the system, it is public record, like we've established.
Sure.
It can never be erased.
Yeah.
It is permanent, and it will be audited at some point.
Sure.
Why would you be so careless if not that the thinking is that nobody's going to ask me, and even if they do, nothing will be done to me? Is that the kind of thing that we are seeing here?
Definitely, that's what we are seeing. That's what is in play. And I think we need still to ask tough and more tough questions, because this is public money. It's not an individual money.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you raise these issues,
Yes.
what is the hope now from this? Because obviously what you've told us, there's a lot more, and there's things also that you, according to you, are not able to reveal at this point. You want to reveal them at some point. And obviously you represent yourself and others. What is it that should happen then moving forward?
I wrote a petition to the Senate on the same. So because by law, they're the ones who need to oversight what's happening in the counties. So I'm waiting for the recommendations that they will give. Number two, I also wrote to the EACC to carry out the investigations. My hope is to see the EACC coming into action. Probably now we have the new CEO who is much God-fearing. I think something good will come out of EACC. I also wrote to the Director of Criminal Investigations in the Department of Economic Crime Unit. And I know they are going to launch also an investigation. And probably those will be caught culpable or have broken or violated the set laws and the procedures, and probably they have looted the public coffers from Meru County, then they be taken to court. It's only the court of law that can give orders for the recovery of the lost money. Yeah.
You know, when you refer to the EACC, the new person in that is the chair.
Yeah.
Who's the Reverend Bishop Dr. David Oginde.
Yeah.
The previous one was also a bishop. They're both God-fearing.
But
The other one was actually Archbishop.
Archbishop.
Just Bishop Small.
Kenya.
Archbishop.
yeah,
Big.
very
Yes.
silent.
Yes, the primate
We never
of
heard
the
much
Anglican
from
Church
him.
of Kenya.
Kenya.
Yeah.
I want to read again some of what you have sent to the EACC
Yes.
in press payment. So whenever I see where you written payment description written NA, it means that on IFMIS it says prepayment.
Yeah, it says prepayment.
Just prepayment without further description.
Yes.
On this day, the 20th day of, which is the 9th month?
September.
Last year, payments to one person, 100,000 shillings. When I do this, you say prepayment.
Okay.
100,000 shillings,
Prepayment.
648,000 shillings,
Prepayment.
578,000 shillings,
Prepayment.
200,000,
Prepayment.
525,000,
Prepayment.
772,000,
Prepayment.
167,000,
Prepayment.
110,000,
Prepayment.
100,000,
Prepayment.
110,000,
Prepayment.
113,000,
Prepayment.
94,000,
Prepayment.
47,000,
Prepayment.
37,000,
Prepayment.
110,000,
Prepayment.
672,000,
Prepayment.
94,000,
Prepayment.
37,000,
Prepayment.
150,000,
Prepayment.
100,000,
Prepayment.
37,000,
Prepayment.
100,000.
Please say it.
Prepayment.
Thank you very much.
City, I want you to say hospital supplies and others. 128,000,
Hospital supplies and others.
50,000.
Hospital supplies and others.
Bas. All those are on one day
One person.
to one person.
This person was prepaid and then taken to hospital. Sorry.
So now figure that one out, even when you listen to that. How is that? How do you explain yourself out of this one?
And you know, hospital
Impressed.
supplies, then again we have the boards. Each and every
Yes,
hospital has
yes,
a board.
they do.
And everything must go through the board. Why pay through the office of the governor? To a single person rather than a company.
Mazito hayo.
That's a lot of money.
How would you
It's a
explain
lot
it?
of money. On
Let's
single
put
day.
you on the other side and play devil's advocate for a moment.
Yeah.
If you were to think that, that this could be explained, how would you explain? Is it possible to explain why there would be maybe 16 prepayments totaling well above 3 million shillings and then some hospital payments to one person? What would make sense? Okay, not even what would make sense. How could you explain it and say the reason why this happened was because of this?
A governor had 15 meetings.
Okay.
Each meeting required some facilitation to the officers
Okay.
and the staff.
Okay, and it was just this one person that was in the office
yeah,
that
it's
day.
only one person who can be trusted to handle that.
To handle the
amount of money.
facilitation.
Okay.
Right.
It's simple as that.
And also on the same day,
And
hospital
on the
supplies
same-
needed.
on the same day, hospital supplies were needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And only one single person could be trusted.
Okay.
That's the way they are putting it. That the governor will only work with the people that she trusts. And most likely, family members.
But she appointed CECs. She appointed,
COs.
COs.
In
She
our
appointed.
government, they are just puppets. They do as they are being told by the PA and the chief of staff. Although they will not speak openly. Chini ya maji wanaongea, wanatuambia. We are just puppets. We do as we are being told. You can imagine, in the office of the governor, we have the deputy governor. He's never seen anywhere.
What does that
Okay?
mean?
He's never
Like
seen
Houdini,
anywhere.
he
And-
disappears or what?
And
But-
no function.
But
he's never seen in any
but
function.
he's alive.
He's alive.
He's
He's
not
never
locked
seen
in a
in
box somewhere.
any government function.
He's not been kidnapped.
Number two,
But he comes to office.
yeah. Number two, when the governor is not in, when we have delegations from NGOs, embassies, they are being received by the two sisters. One is the PA, the other one is the
Bodyguard.
bodyguard. How do you explain such kind of a government?
Well, that's okay. I mean,
family
the
affair.
bodyguard, the
That's a
bodyguard
family
and
affair.
PA, I mean, my PA can receive you and you come to my. What is surely?
My friend,
Yeah.
delegations from international delegations.
It's-
You even have the county secretary. Why not delegate to the county secretary if you don't want to work with your deputy governor
You know,
when you're not in?
Again, Thuranira,
Yeah.
this is coming so close after the previous issue that you had raised that went to the county assembly that was quoting the same kind of thing, where there were issues of, what you're calling nepotism,
Yeah.
where there were issues of unexplained expenditures. It was the same kind of thing. Why really would, again, putting
Why
yourself...
would you do that to
You know,
yourself
she
twice?
she ignored the advice she was given by the senators. True or false?
Did she? No, she's working very well with the county assembly.
She was told to be a
Accountable.
bit professional.
Okay.
a bit. Huh?
Yeah,
Just keep
a
it-
bit professional. She has not been professional, isn't it? She has professionals in the office. The finance office has technocrats, isn't it? Why not heed to the advice?
There's something I need to ask.
Yeah.
Is there any development that is happening in Meru County that you can point to and say, despite what I'm saying, the people of Meru are benefiting from development projects and whatever was budgeted for, whatever they have in the development plan
Meru
is
is
being
working.
implemented? Is there anything of that sort?
Laughable development.
Okay.
Because why go drill a borehole? Okay, just drill it, leave it at that point.
Is there-
Without
is there
No
water?
water will come up when it's being pumped. You have not installed the solar system and the pumping system. You just leave it at that. Will you call it development? People are not using water from that borehole. She has dug 35 of them.
And
None
they're
of
just
them
lying there.
They are not functional. They're just lying there.
How many wards are there?
45 wards.
Okay.
Thuranira,
That's development.
are public hospitals working? Are people leaving their homes today and going into any part of Meru and entering a public hospital and finding doctors and clinical officers and nurses and getting a service and going home?
They are there in the rural areas, I can say that. But then again, the medical supply is not sufficient. And the problem that came in is that the first consignment, when it was brought, and medical supplies are very delicate. There are some supplies that you cannot put the medical container on the floor. You cannot expose it in the sunlight, isn't it? Like the vaccines, they need to be in a
Refrigerated cold storage.
Yeah, cold storage. So when the first consignment was brought, for PR purposes, they were exposed in the sunlight, na zikatolewa hapo tu kwa pavement ya the governor's office. Wakaanza kufanya distribution that took 7 days. So dawa ziko nje kwa jua kali na usiku kwa baridi nyingi. They are exposed to weather conditions that they are not supposed to be exposed. By the time they arrived in the dispensaries and the targeted hospitals, some had already expired.
Okay, so that's healthcare. Are there agricultural extension officers in Meru?
We have not seen them in our farms.
So where are they?
I don't know. And if you remember in the Auditor's General report, not Auditor General, Control of Budget report, they had already spent $500 million on agriculture. We have not seen any tangible agricultural development that you can say it was worthy even 100 million.
Tangible, what would it look like?
Tangible, for example, we can talk of fish farming. Probably farmers have been empowered to have fish pods in their farms, and they have been supplied with the fingerets. We have not seen something like that. We don't have any services for the IE. Aziko. Hatujasikia vaccination ya kama umbwa ama ng'ombe ama paka. So where did they spend their $500 million?
This one of yours is a bit difficult.
It's there in the Control of Budget report.
So these questions, you're saying the county assembly is not asking these questions?
They're silent on that.
Then it leads me to ask the question, when the county assembly took this matter to the Senate, were they taking the matter because they believed that the county of Meru was not benefiting? Or were they just applying pressure on the governor so that they could benefit? Because clearly, if that is the case then, and from what you've said, it has worked.
Dividends.
Yes. The governor now gives them contracts, as you say. The government, there are things that, there are benefits that previously were not there. And it would then appear that this was their interest all along.
Actually, what they are saying in Kimeru, I'll translate, ato wonka, yani wananyonya, they are circling. That's the reality.
Say it in Kimeru again.
Ato wonka.
So they are gwonka.
Yes, they are wonka. There is also another issue. You heard of the mountain run?
We'll invite
Mount
you again.
Kenya?
Where? There's another
there.
one there. We'll invite you again, Thronera.
Yes.
Please, come back and talk about this. Thronera Salesio Muchuma, the Omtata of Meru County. He is raising issues. He's calling it the grand loot in Meru. He's written to the EACC asking the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, please investigate this. He's asking questions left, right and center. The county assembly, even the Senate, you've petitioned the Senate, please investigate what's happening in Meru. And the Meru County government as well has responded in some of these issues. We'll invite them. We want to hear from them.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.